I was halfway through a crispy drumstick in the KFC parking lot, savoring the greasy goodness, when Laura Hensley appeared at my window like a storm cloud with a vendetta. Her face was beet red, her fists clenched, and she was screaming about murder and animal genocide. She slammed her palm against my glass, demanding I stop eating chicken in her community. Within minutes, what started as a quiet lunch break spiraled into a spectacle nobody could have predicted. I'm a software developer working from home in Maple Grove, a tidy little neighborhood just outside town. Most days I'm glued to my laptop, but that Tuesday I was CRAVYing fried chicken. So I hopped in my car and drove to the KFC a few miles away. I was parked, munching on a three-piece meal with extra biscuits, when a silver SUV screeched into the spot next to mine. I didn't think much of it until I saw who was behind the wheel. Laura Hensley, the president of our HOA. Even through her tinted window, I could see the fury in her eyes. Laura and I had history. I'd moved into Maple Grove 6 months ago, and she'd been on my case ever since. My lawn was a half-inch too tall, she'd said. My trash can lingered at the curb 20 minutes past pickup. My mailbox wasn't the approved shade of taupe. Petty stuff, but Laura treated it like I was defacing the Mona Lisa. So when she stormed out of her SUV and marched toward my car, I knew this wasn't about grass or garbage. "What do you think you're doing?" she barked, her voice muffled through my closed window. I cracked it an inch, still holding my drumstick. "Eating lunch," I said, trying to keep cool, though my pulse was picking up. Something about her wild eyes told me this wasn't just another HOA gripe. "Do you have any idea what you're doing?" she hissed, her face so close to the glass I could see the veins in her forehead. "That's a murdered animal you're eating. A sentient being that wanted to live." I blinked, thrown off. "Laura, I'm just eating lunch in a KFC parking lot. This is an HOA business. It's about our community values," she shouted, loud enough to turn heads from the outdoor tables. "I've been working to make Maple Grove a cruelty-free zone. And here you are, supporting this slaughterhouse." Now, Laura had been on a mission lately. It started with vegetarian cookbooks handed out at the last community picnic. Then came flyers about factory farming slipped under our doors. Last month, she tried to ban backyard grilling, claiming the stench of burning flesh offended her. The HOA shot it down, and she'd stormed out of the meeting, fuming. But this, confronting me in a public parking lot, this was next level. "Look," I said, keeping my voice steady, "I respect your choices, but you can't tell me what to eat, especially not here." I gestured at the KFC sign. "We're not even in Maple Grove." That set her off. "Don't you get it? You're bringing that death energy back to our neighborhood. I saw you leave Maple Grove 30 minutes ago. I knew you were up to no good." She pointed at my chicken like it was a smoking gun. By now, people were staring. A couple pulled out their phones, filming what was turning into a public meltdown. My face burned with embarrassment, but I wasn't about to argue with crazy. "I'm finishing my lunch," I said, starting to roll on my window. "We can talk later, but not here." That's when Laura lost it. She slapped her hand against the glass, stopping the window. "You will not ignore me. Do you know how many chickens die for this place?" "Million." She was screaming now, spit flecking my window. I set my food down. "Laura, back away from my car. You're making a scene, and you're trapping me here." "Good," she shrieked. "Maybe if you can't leave, you'll listen." She pressed herself against my driver's side door, blocking it completely. "Get out and apologize for supporting animal cruelty. Apologize for betraying our community." I couldn't believe this was happening over a $7 meal. I weighed my options. Call the cops, overkill. Reason with her, pointless. Or wait her out, but I had a Zoom meeting in 45 minutes. Before I could decide, a KFC employee approached a kid in his early 20s, name tag reading Tyler. "Ma'am, is everything okay?" Tyler asked politely. "We've had complaints about shouting." Laura whirled on him. "Complaints? You work for a company that slaughters millions of animals, and you're worried about noise." Tyler stepped back, clearly out of his depth. We want customers to feel comfortable." Laura laughed, a sharp, unhinged sound. "What about the chickens crammed in cages? What about their comfort?" I saw my chance and cracked my door, hoping to slip out and calm things down. Big mistake. Laura spun around, reached through the window, and snatched a piece of chicken from my box. No more death food, she yelled, hurling it to the ground and stomping it with her spotless sneakers, grinding into the asphalt. My jaw dropped. A middle-aged woman in a KFC apron, Tyler's manager, I assumed, stormed out. "What is going on?" she demanded. Laura went off again, now pulling out her phone to record. "I want everyone to see this," she announced. "This place is a murder factory, and this man," she pointed at me, "is supporting it." The manager shot me a sympathetic look. "Ma'am, you need to leave. You're harassing customers." Laura held her phone inches from my face. "Say it. Say you're contributing to animal genocide." The manager sighed. "I'm calling the police." "Go ahead," Laura taunted, filming the manager now. "They should know what's happening." As the manager went inside, I noticed a shift in Laura's demeanor. Her eyes gleamed, almost triumphant. It hit Mesh wasn't just mad. She was performing, probably hoping for a VY Rao moment to push her cause. Tyler tried again. "Ma'am, please, we don't want trouble." Laura shoved him aside. "Don't touch me," she screamed, though he hadn't. "I'm being assaulted." Tyler stumbled, shocked. "I didn't." That shove changed everything. Sirens wailed in the distance. Laura didn't flinch. She seemed energized, still filming. "The police are coming to protect the meat industry," she declared to her phone. "This is what we're up against." Two officers evade a tall woman with a tight bun and a calm, middle-aged man, both wearing body cams. "What's the problem?" the woman asked, eyeing Laura, still blocking my car. Before I could speak, Laura launched in, phone still rolling. "Officer, I'm educating this man about his choices. He's eating animal products without—" The male officer cut her off. "Ma'am, lower your phone and step away from the vehicle. I have the right to film." Laura snapped. "This is a peaceful protest." The female officer nodded. "You can film, but you can't trap this man or harass customers." "Harass?" Laura's voice cracked. "I'm educating. Who's speaking for the animals?" The officers exchanged a look. "Ma'am, step away, or we'll have to act," the man said. Laura thrust her phone at the woman's face. "Are you threatening me? Are you part of the meat industry too?" The female officer's patience snapped. "Last warning. Step away, or you're under arrest for disorderly conduct." I thought Laura would back down. Nobody risks jail over chicken, right? Wrong. "I will not be silenced," Laura shouted. Then she shoved the female officer's shoulder. "Get your hands off me." The officer hadn't touched her. The air froze. The officers locked eyes, and the woman moved behind Laura. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for assaulting an officer," the man said, pulling out cuffs. Click. Laura's face went from righteous to stunned. "What? You can't. I'm a Maple Grove HOA president. Do you know who I am?" As they led her to the patrol car, Laura kept yelling. "This isn't over. The HOA will hear about this. We'll ban meat from Maple Grove. This man," she jerked her head at me, "he'll be gone. We don't tolerate animal abusers." I stepped out of my car, dazed. The manager approached. "You okay, sir? Want a fresh meal?" I nodded. "Thanks." Tyler swept up the mashed chicken, shaking his head. "Man, that was wild. All over some chicken." I smirked. Not just chicken, a political statement. 3 days later, an HOA notice arrived. Emergency meeting, all residents required. The VY Deos of Laura's meltdown had gone VY Rao, and neighbors were buzzing. Some even gave me sympathetic nods on the street. The meeting was in our community center, usually for yoga or book clubs, but that night, it was packed. Laura was absent. The VYC president, a retired accountant named George, took the mic. "By now, you've heard about the incident involved VYing our president, Laura Hensley," he said gravely. "The board has decided, effective immediately, to suspend Laura indefinitely, pending a vote for permanent removal." Murmurs spread. George continued. "Laura faces charges of assault, disorderly conduct, and trespassing. She's out on bail, but has a restraining order from the KFC. She could face 6 months in jail and overdue law $3,000 in fines." Gasps filled the room. Also, George added, she's on leave from her job as an elementary school VYC principal, pending investigation. Just then, the door creaked. Laura stood there, her face a mix of shock and fury as her fate was laid bare. Our eyes met. For the first time, I saw not the tyrant of Maple Grove, but a woman defeated. Without a word, she slipped back into the night.